Hello. Hi there. Hey, everyone, and hello. I see we've got a couple of people here. So I want to apologize first. Usually I schedule these videos much earlier in the day. And then I always had it in my mind I was going live at 7:30 tonight. That's not a problem, but I forgot to schedule it earlier in the day. So when I went to go live at I got to set up at about 20 past 7 and went, oh, I haven't scheduled this live. So I scheduled it. I made it a couple of minutes late in case anyone showed up and wanted to know where I was. But my apologies to you all. I was always intending to be here, but I have to let you guys know and I have to set it up properly. So, yeah, sorry. It's been a long day. Actually, it's been a long week. There's a lot going on at the moment. I've been in and out of StreamYard all day today because I'm working on having a retreat that I'm doing tomorrow for my team. It's a virtual retreat where I'm doing it kind of here in this format in a Facebook group. And because I've been in and out of it all day, I forgot to set up my own live. So there we go. Good morning, Dee. How you going? Nice to see you there. We've got a few regulars. Thanks, Margaret, for your patience with me. I know you like to come on early, and I was not available earlier. I didn't have this set up for you to do that. Oh, a million messages just came through all at the same time. So I see people are arriving and saying hi. I won't say hello to everybody at once, but hello, everyone. And my apologies for not having this set up earlier tonight. Week's been good. Thank you, Chris. It's just been really, really, really busy. There's a lot going on right now. So yeah, the team retreat has been taking up a lot of my time, and that's awesome. I don't begrudge that at all, but it just means that other things maybe don't happen when they should, like scheduling a live, for example. And you didn't remind me either. I know, Margaret. Hello, but I'm really glad to see you all here, and thank you for trusting me. Even if you couldn't see the live earlier in the day, thank you for trusting that I would be here, because I always try and be here. Okay, so how's everyone's week been? You've just heard about mine. How has yours been? Has everyone had a great week? Anyone have anything exciting to talk about tonight? I'd love to hear what your what is going on that's awesome in your world. Well, my awesome things, I've got tomorrow's retreat. That's pretty awesome, and I've even got someone from head office presenting at our retreat tomorrow, so I'm very excited about that. You had a busy day and forgot. Yeah, busy days are good because you get lots done, but they're also exhausting, aren't they? Oh, who had a birthday? Margaret, you had a birthday. Congratulations. Happy birthday to you. Oh, you were waiting on the second notification. Right, yes. Well, that never came, did it? Sightseeing with a close friend, Katrina. That sounds lovely. How nice. A good, fun week. Chris has been doing some crafting, so sounds like a good week to me. That's my idea of a good week. All right. Shall we get started? I'm going to go pretty quickly tonight, only because, and keep it really simple, only because I am still working on the last minute things for the retreat tomorrow, and I want to make sure it's just perfect. So, oh, thank you for saying that, Chris, not John. Yeah, it's nice to be caught live. Whereabouts are you, Chris? So we've got a couple of Chris's. We've got Chris in Melbourne, and then we have another Chris that I don't know. So say hello. If you have never watched us before, or even if you have, let us know where you're listening from, because I love seeing all the comments pop up from all over the world. That's very exciting. So I thought I might play with a couple of things tonight, and we'll just make it up as we go along, because that's how we roll. I've got a couple of pieces already. Quite often I get inspired by when I'm cleaning up my room, which happens occasionally. When I do clean up the room, I find lots of little bits and pieces of leftovers from cards or die cuts that I've cut, and those inspire me to do new cards. So I found a couple of pieces tonight that I had found on my desk and went, yep, those would make a nice card. So we'll go from there. Oh, you were on YouTube waiting. I'm so sorry. But here I am. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the desk, and we're going to talk first of all. I've got, whoops, got to put it up the right way. this is my little bit of information about the online exclusives. These are only available. So here's the deal with the online exclusives, because I've had a few people, contact me and say, how can I get a look at these things? You can get a look at them by going to the online store. So to do that, you go to stampinup.com. In Australia, we go stampinup.com.au, and then we go to the menu, which is on the top left-hand corner, and then shop products, and below that you'll see the online exclusives. Okay, they're about halfway down the page when you click on the shop products menu item. So they can only be viewed here. Now, if you're a demonstrator, I've had demonstrators also ask me, how can I see all the online exclusives? Because on our demonstrator website, there's only a few of them that you can see, not this whole collection. So once again, you have to go to the online store, the same as what the customers see. And if you want to order through the demonstrator website with your demo ID and so forth, you would, once you go to the online store, get the number. When you click on each item, it has the item code in there and the price and all the details. You go back to the store and actually order it with the order number. So once you have the item number, you can order it either through the online store or through the demonstrator website, whichever way suits you. So you just need to get the number on the online store. So the online store is where you find it, and after that, how you order it is up to you. Okay. I hope that makes sense. If anyone has any questions about that, please ask me. So you can see there's quite a lot of fun things. These were all released on the 1st of March. So everything was out then. But last time I looked, the 2 punches, the 2-inch circle and the 1 3/4 circle, which are actually, you might remember, those of you who've been around for a while, we've had these before, and they've made a welcome return. A lot of people are very excited about it. In fact, so excited that they both, last time I looked, they had both sold out. So let me just double check. I'm going to check the stock list right now. And Ellen, if you're there, you'll laugh at me. I'm saying stock list because that's safe, because I can't say the word inventory. Is it inventory? I never know how to say it. I just can't seem to manage it at all. I have a block on it or something. Yes, those 2 circle punches are the only things you can't order right now. So if you want the circle punches, you'll have to wait till they come back in. They are meant to come back in right at the end of March if this availability list is accurate. Okay, so everything else though is available, and we've been making cards the last couple of weeks. We've used the tropical leaf bundle, which has been a lot of fun, and I've done lots and lots of things. You might notice with the Hello Irresistible suite. That is gorgeous. I'm going to use possibly some of that again tonight because I can't seem to stay away from it. Something else that's in here that I really, really like is this gorgeous naturally gilded paper. So some of you may have seen that. Have you seen it? It's absolutely stunning. And rather than try and show it to you in a little picture like this, I will grab it and show you what it looks like. It is stunning. It's called Naturally Gilded, and there are 2 sheets of each design. So this is the gold on the vanilla. Really, really pretty. One of our make and takes at tomorrow's retreat is actually with this paper. So those of you who are coming tomorrow, you'll enjoy having a little play with it tomorrow. And then there's 2 sheets of the gold, 2 sheets of the silver on white, which is really, really beautiful, and my favorite personally, which is the copper. You can see the camera kind of trying to pick it up. See how shiny it is. It's just gorgeous. So that's copper on white. So copper on white, silver on white, and gold on vanilla. Those are the 3 that we have in this pack, and there's 2 sheets of each, 12 by 12. Absolutely gorgeous, and it is, from memory, I think it's $17.50 for the 6 sheets. Okay, so if you're wondering, that's the Australian price. If you're wondering how much it costs here in Australia, if you are elsewhere, not in Australia, check with your demonstrator, and I'm sure they'll be able to give you the price. You got the gilded paper, Leslie. Did you love it? Oh, I know, the copper's my favorite too. Yep, love, love, love it. So I'm going to use a little bit of this tonight. I'm going to use some of the silver paper. In fact, I was cleaning up my desk. This is a piece of silver paper I cut for another project when I was live a few weeks ago, and then I never ended up using it. I'm going to use it tonight. So there's that. I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to cut myself. Now this piece that I've got right here is 8. Should be 8 by 11.5. Okay. So I want my black mat behind it to be a little wider. So I'm going to go 8.5. So half a centimeter wider than my naturally gilded piece. And I said 11.5. So we'll make this 12. All right. So this should be the right size to put behind this. All right. Now, the other thing is you have to be careful with this. The direction matters. So it needs to go up this way, because if you put it this way, it's going to look wrong. So you need to make sure you do actually have the paper facing the right way. Here we go. It's going to sit right there in that. Now, before I do that, though, I'm going to have a little play with it. And I'm going to use a color that is scheduled to retire. And I know a lot of people are really sad about this because, hey, Kerry, nice to see you. There were others on your other notification live. Why is there two? I think because I made a mistake, Jody, and I think I accidentally scheduled it and didn't realize it didn't delete. I deleted it in StreamYard, but it must not have deleted in YouTube. Sorry about that. My apologies. I hope people have worked it out. We do have less people here tonight than we normally do, so I'm thinking maybe that's my error, that I didn't have as many because I accidentally sent 2 notifications. I messed it up totally tonight. So let me just see if I can find it and get rid of the other one. I'm just going to try and do that now. No. Right. Let me see. See if I can fix that. I just have to make sure I don't delete the wrong one, because otherwise I'll cut you all off. No, I found it. I'm going to delete it. And it says, I understand that deleting is permanent, can't be undone. All right, I've undone the other one. All right, so hopefully they're not going to wait over there anymore and will realize that I'm here. I hope so. We have nearly 40 people now, so hopefully that means most of the people who are on the other it's almost like I teased you with a pretendy fake notification. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to actually I want to actually use some blending brushes and ink over this. And like I said, Fresh Freesia is a color that is scheduled to retire. Now here I want to tell you something really important, guys. I'm not aware, I'm not going to say it won't happen for sure, but I'm not aware of them ever discounting retiring inks, okay? That's never happened to my knowledge. So if you are waiting for the retired list to come out before you get your bits and pieces because you think you might get a discount, I think that would be a mistake. There is a very good chance some things may go almost as soon as that retiring list comes out. You would need to be so fast to get some of the things. And the things that are going to go fast are going to be the retiring colors and retiring like inks and refills, probably cardstock to match, any of those sorts of things, maybe even blends that match. Okay, so all the coordinating colors. Now we know that the 2001 to 2003 in colors are retiring. Okay, so that's these ones. Polish pink. Let me see if I can't show you. Well, I can show you. I don't have the ink pad because I've got that packed for tomorrow. And also the Fresh Freesia, this one. Okay, so these colors are retiring as of next month. Okay, so here's the schedule so you understand how it works. Demonstrators are going to get their first look at the online catalog and therefore the retiring list. We will know what's not going to be in there in the next one because we'll get to see the new catalog, so we'll know if a color's not going to be there. We'll get to see that on the 30th, early in the morning of the 30th of this month, March. Okay, the retiring list doesn't go live until the 4th of April, but we'll know what's on it and we'll be able to tell you for certain, for example, if this color is retiring. So my word of advice to you would be, if you really love a color, we also know that there's going to be a color refresh, which means there won't just be these items retiring. There's going to be a lot more colors retiring. We don't know how many. We haven't been told. So yeah, with that in mind, I would not wait. If there's a color you really love, get the ink or the refill. If you don't have the refills or the matching cardstock or whatever it is you need, get them now. Get them soon. Do not wait. Or if you want to, you can wait until we know what's on the retiring list, but I wouldn't wait around for the 4th when it may even be that some items have gone by then. Or if they haven't gone by then, they'll be going so fast, they'll be going like hotcakes. All right. How fast do hotcakes go? I've always wondered why does that expression exist? All right, I'm picking up some Fresh Freeze ink with my blending brush, and I'm literally going to rub it here onto my, and I've just realized that this is possibly not as inky as I'd like it to be. When you use blending brushes on your ink pads, you may find you need to re-ink them more often because the ink gets used up really quickly, obviously, doing this. So I'm actually going to do what I probably should have done if I'd realized this before the video. I'm going to grab my Fresh Freezer refill and I'm going to re-ink this pad. So if you haven't seen a pad re-inked before, this is a good little bit of know-how for you because it's something you should know how to do. All right, and you can see I re-ink some stays on, and it stays on. See, it even stays on the spoon. All right, so I'm going to re-ink just by putting lots of little dots. This is how I do it on my ink pad. So there's lots of different ways. I used to do it by, squeezing it across, but I find this is better because it gets more coverage and I can have a bit more control over how much ink I'm pushing in. So what we want the ink to go down into the pad, but just dipping it onto the pad like this won't be enough to completely cover it. Okay, so I've kind of gone all over it. Now this is a really important step. I grab my spoon and I'm going to massage that ink into the pad, and you'll see the color kind of change. Can you see that? And that's what should happen. So at the moment down here it's just sitting on the surface, but we want to push that color down into the pad. So you get your spoon. I always keep a spoon here on my desk that's just for doing this kind of thing, and I'm going to massage that in. All right. Okay, so that's probably pretty good. And now, of course, I can go along and pick it up, and you'll see this time there is more color there. It's coming off much more readily. So I'm going to pick up as much as I can there, and I'm going to come back on here, and this time I'm going to get a darker result. Can you see that? Straight away, it's much darker. Now, if it does sort of end up a little bit blobby on here, don't worry. That is perfectly fine because we're going to be using this to show from underneath here. So I'm using, this is the Fresh Freezer fine shimmer paper. Obviously that will be retiring as well if this color is retiring. So there's a lot of things that we know are supposedly retiring. Now I'm saying supposedly and words like that because there is a chance that they might decide to add Fresh Freezer to the regular color listing, which means then it won't retire. So that's why I'm not giving you a guarantee that something, even though it's scheduled to retire, there's a possibility it could stay. We really don't know until that list comes out. So I'm going to go over this. Doesn't matter if it's not completely even. That'll kind of add to the interest of the background. And we're going to add the Fresh Freezer all over. And I like some of it being dark and some of it being light. And some of it looking like it's kind of coming out from behind those branches. Now I do have a tissue close by, but if you've got paper towel or a soft cloth, that would be handy because you also want to wipe over this once we've done this because some of the ink tends to sit on the silver design. So you'll need to brush it over or give it a bit of a wipe to actually clean it up and make those silver bits stand out more. So I'm just going to come in here with my tissue and I'm just going to run that over, and straight away it looks better. Okay, that's kind of looking nice. So you kind of get to see the silver, I think, is accented a little bit more by having some of that color behind. Yes, Cheryl, it's the beautiful online exclusive paper that we have. You were asking after it. It's this beautiful, beautiful paper. So you've got 2 sheets in the pack. There's 2 sheets of the gold on the vanilla, 2 sheets of the silver on the white, which is the one I'm using, and 2 sheets of the copper on the white. Okay, you can see all those. There's $17.50 for the 6 sheets. Absolutely stunning. And they're in the online exclusives. All right, so now I've got this on here. I'm going to attach this here, and I can use seal, or I can use Tombow. It doesn't really matter. Whichever one I pick up first. Oh, there's something stuck to that. There we go. All right, I'm just going to position that. The only thing about Tombow, you've got a little bit more wriggle room, but with with seal or tape, you've got to, once it's down, it's down. It's not going anywhere. Right, now I'm going to pop this on a piece of fresh freesia cardstock, which is going to be very, very pretty. Isn't it nice? Straight away, it's really, really nice. And I'm going to grab myself a sponge dauber, and I'm going to zip around the edges of the paper. I'm just looking to see if I can find myself a fresh freesia sponge dauber in my little bag of tricks here. Can't see one, so I'll just pick up a new one. There we go. So what I want to do here is I want to come around, and after I've done that bit of re-inking, you'll find that some of the ink will pool around the edges, and that's where you're going to pick up the most ink with your sponge dauber. And I'm just going to come in here and zip around the edges to give a little bit more definition, which will look really nice. I just flick it over, and you can see I've got quite a bit on there, so it is actually making quite a bit of difference. How much you pick up, that really determines the result that you're going to get. So a couple of days ago, I showcased, like I'm trying to showcase a lot of our retiring colors over the next little while, and I showcased a polished pink yesterday, I believe that was. Now let me see, is that card here? Because if it, I must have moved it. Never mind, that's okay. I'm just going to position this behind here. I can use normal size dimensionals. My husband was looking to see if he could find the card for me. That's helpful, honey, but it's polished pink is this color. Yeah, and it's got a, I think it's probably under this. Oh, here it is. Found it. This is the card I posted in the last couple of days, and I noticed that my sheet has gone crooked. This was I did this one with the Queen Bee set, and I used polished pink here in the background, and I used polished pink blends to color in the bees. We sponged some polished pink ink over the background and added some grungy kind of stamping, and then I did polished pink for the sentiment and added some little bits and pieces. And these are polished pink opal rounds, and I think I'm just looking here, but it looks like I may have lost one of my opal rounds. I might need to stick one on again. I think they've, so I'll have to go looking for them. I'm pretty sure they're not far, but that was the card that I did to showcase polished pink, which is a retiring color as far as we know. Hey Jamie, nice to see you. Haha, yes, I found it. Exactly. I need some stickers. Susan has stickers that say found it, and I think I need some as well. All right, so what we're going to do here, we're just going to position this in the center here, as close as you can get to the center anyway. And this is looking really nice. Now this is also fresh freesia in the fine shimmer paper, and I'm just thinking, now I'm looking at this and thinking it's a little bit, I think it's maybe too big and it covers up too much of that. So maybe I won't use that one. I've got white here. I could put a piece of vellum behind it. Vellum maybe might be better in this case. Even though I really love this shimmer, I'm just thinking that I don't want to cover that much of the design. So I'm thinking that this might be better. And we need to just find ourselves a nice sentiment. What would be nice on this? What kind of card would this be nice for, do you think? I mean, it could be a sympathy card potentially, but maybe a thinking of you card, or what would you like this card to say? Anyone got any ideas? We have got, this one here has lots of nice greetings. We've got a thank you. We've got a, I didn't forget your birthday, I'm just stretching out the celebration, but that might be a bit big. There's a deepest sympathy here. Let's see. Chris said get well. Is there a get well in here? Let me just have a look and see. I don't have very many get well stamps, you know. I'm not sure, really. Now, I can have this one going this way, or I can have it going this way. It can go either. So, I mean, it's going to depend on the design of the, on which sentiment we use, probably. Yes, Michelle, I will, but I don't think I should choose the beverage. I think I should make the beverage your choice, because I think, you know, there'll be people who want to just swig water or a cup of tea or something, and there might be some people who prefer to sip on something stronger. So I don't know. So what do you guys think? So if we went with sympathy, that would be this one with deepest sympathy, and I can go with a smaller piece as well. So let's pull out the dies. I think they're right here. So these dies are called Something Fancy. I'm going to bring in my machine, my cut and emboss machine, and let's have a little look at the size of them. So you can see, so Ellen has her dies on magnets, and they stay in place so beautifully, so lovely. And then there's me, which is not in any way, shape, or form even close to that. So see, this one is smaller. It's going to go inside that. So I'm thinking maybe I cut white from that, and then maybe the next size up, I'm going to cut from this. How, let's do that. I just think that, I think I've got them a little bit big. That's all. So what about the Nothing Fancy, Just Love? Yeah, that's nice too. So lots of people are making lots of suggestions. I just want to, let me go back. Yeah, long drinks are good. You use the bee set in your workshop. I know, isn't it lovely, Louise? I'm so happy that people are enjoying that set. I just think it's beautiful. So, so nice. Every card I've made with the bee set so far, I have absolutely loved. All right, so Chris was the first person who said something, which was get well, but I'm struggling to find a nice get well sentiment. And then the next comment after that was Kay with sympathy. So seeing as I know the sympathy is here, let's use that one. I'm sorry, Chris. Get well would be nice with those colors and things. All right, so I've got my little mini cut and emboss machine here, and I am actually going to, like I said, I'm going to cut this down. We're going to make it a little bit smaller so we won't lose too much of our background design. And I'm laying it up, like laying it out so that it actually, it doesn't matter if it's not straight on there because I just want the shape. So I'm going to wheel that through. There we go. I've got this one, and then this one I'm going to do on the smaller piece. And I've got this with deepest sympathy, so we might as well do that at the same time. Where is it? With deepest sympathy. Here it is. I haven't even put the sticker on this one. Whoops. Oh well. Okay. And I'm going to use the same color ink. I could go with a darker color, but I think I'll keep to the lighter color. Who else is a fan of Fresh Freesia? I know you are, Cheryl. Anybody else? So I'm actually going to stamp this on here, and then I'm going to cut it out. It usually makes more sense, especially if you accidentally get it crooked, to stamp first and then cut. All right, especially with punching, but sometimes with dies as well, because if you don't want to cut first and then discover that you stamp crooked when you put it out there. So I'm actually going to put this on here, and I'm going to cut it with the smaller die. Okay, I'm happy with that. And let's wheel it through. Right, so here we have with Deeper Sympathy. And actually I got that pretty right, so I could use that as a frame if I wanted for something else. That might be rather nice. Maybe. All right. So let's close this up. And now this one is going to go onto this one because they match up. They're perfectly matched. And I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back. Now, if I think I might want to slide something in underneath, I use minimal dimensionals, so I have plenty of room to do that. All right. So let's bring this back. This is looking nice now. And I'm deciding, do I want, and I think I do, to have some leaves to go in underneath. So I'm going to pop this also on dimensionals. I keep ending up crooked. And I'm sorry that I've missed some of your comments. You guys can comment faster than I can read or look when I'm creating. So this fine shimmer paper is beautiful. What do you think? We're liking this? I don't make a lot of sympathy cards. Can I just tell you my theory on sympathy cards? Sympathy cards are the one type of card that you don't want to make when you need it. Okay, get what I mean? So it's really good to make a few sympathy cards and have a stash of them in case you need them. Hopefully you don't need them, but it's nice to have a few pre-made so that when you need them and you don't want to make them then because you're usually feeling too sad to make a sympathy card. So my feeling is try and make them ahead of time, so you've got a few in your collection and you can just use them when you need them. All right, so I'm thinking tonight we will bring out the good old iridescent rhinestones, and like I said, I'm considering, we also do have this beautiful open weave fresh freesia ribbon, so maybe that's a good idea as well. And let me see here. I also have, because I cut some earlier, some basic white card base, so I'll pop that on as well at the same time. So this is just half a sheet of A4 cut in half and then folded in half again. All right, so let's pop that on. And let's turn this up. And because it's handy, I'm going to go with my seal. So just run it along. The correct way to use seal, some of you have, I know, had bad experiences with seal. You do need to just treat it a little bit differently. It's not like snail, okay? It's actually better adhesive than snail, but snail was easier to use because you didn't have to do anything fancy. With this, you make sure it's sticky first, and then you put your seal in place, keep it low, run it to the end, and then lift it, okay? If you do that, you won't have any problems with your seal. So run it low, lift, and then we attach this. So let me just pop that there. And I was deciding whether I would like some black leaves. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we need black leaves? I mean, we definitely need bling for sure. And if I use ribbon, I probably don't want black leaves as well. What do you guys think? Would that be too much if we went with black leaves and ribbon? I think maybe one or the other. Here's the ribbon. I mean, the ribbon is beautiful. I'm looking to see what everyone's saying. Yes, with the bling. Yes, vellum leaves. Vellum leaves would be nice, Margaret. Silver leaves, says Chris. Well, I think I've already got maybe enough silver with the beautiful paper in the background. The ribbon would look lovely if we decide to add some, and the bling would look lovely. Maybe let's try the vellum idea. So give me a second and I will locate that. The leaves that I normally use are in the Irresistible Blooms dies, and I don't have those tonight because I've lent them to a friend. So I'm just looking to see what other leaves I might have. What else do we have? I think Two-Tone Flora might have some leaves. Let's have a look. I think they do. Let's see. Agree with Michelle. What did Michelle say? Just black bling. Yeah, black bling would be nice. I'm a little wary of using a lot of black on. I've got these, but I don't know that they're right. I tell you what else I've got. I've got another idea. I remember a long time ago when I was running classes, I'm thinking instead of dies, let's go with a punch. Let's do that. And I have got some vellum here on the table. I did a card and it had a reasonable amount of black in it, and my customers some of them were horrified that I would use black on a sympathy card. And I thought it looked quite nice, but the customers that I was speaking to on that occasion didn't like it at all. And I've been very careful about using black on my sympathy cards ever since, so as not to cause offense. All right, so I'm thinking this could go in under here. Well, that does look nice. I don't want it to take over the card too much. I just want a small amount here. So I'm thinking, what do we think? Do we like that? I think that's nice. So let's add those with some glue dots maybe. Yes, the bow punch is one I don't use all that often. You know, I really need to bring it out more often because it is a lovely punch. I tend to have I do really like punches that have leaves, and I use them quite a bit. So I just want a little bit sticking out from behind there, and the same with this little guy. And this is why I don't add many dimensionals underneath, so I can slide things like this under without any trouble. All right, let's add that. There we go. Right, I'm thinking that's nice. But maybe now the ribbon's going to be too much. Let's see. I know, right? But I don't know. I think they felt that it was macabre or something. I really don't know why it was it was not well received at all. So I've just been really careful ever since. See, I do still like the ribbon, but it might be too much. And we do need some bling here. So I'm going to put a larger one down the bottom, and then maybe a smaller one here. I should be using my take your pick tool, but of course I'm just doing it with my fingers because, oh well. So the question is, do we want, yeah, no ribbon in capital letters, says Michelle. So I'm thinking maybe no ribbon. Is that what we say? But yes, I could add little black matte dots as well. So that would be these. All right, so that would be another option because they're great, these. No ribbon, says Jody. No ribbon, no ribbon. Yeah, okay, no ribbon it is, guys. You got your wish. No ribbon. All right, so I'm going to say that's card number 1. Our little sympathy card. Very easy. All we did was add some Fresh Freesia ink to the background here with the blending brush, and really the paper does the rest. I love this bit of shimmer here too. That's really pretty. Okay. You could shade your leaves with Fresh Freesia. Yeah, we could make them, but we also have quite a bit of purple, so maybe we don't want to go overboard. But that would still look really nice, Judy. I think you're right. Oh, okay. All right. So there's one. Well, let's do another simple card because we can. And let me grab a couple of things out of the way. Put this beautiful paper somewhere else. I'm also trying to set up for tomorrow, so I'm going to fold this piece of basic white paper in half. I'm just going to use my bone folder and switch that over. Now, we did talk about doing this a few weeks ago, and we never actually did it, but we did talk about it, and I thought, well, maybe tonight we should actually do it. I have got this beautiful, beautiful Hello Irresistible paper. Look how much of it I have. I have like a whole bunch. This is about I think this is 3, maybe 4 packets, and I've gone through and basically used bits out of all of them because for a class, I was cutting up, I was cutting up all these, you can see I've just gone through and used all the big flowers from these sheets, and I used several packs to get all the flowers that I needed for my craft along this month. So if you placed an order with me in February over $60, then you are receiving, it went in the mail yesterday. Some of you may even have it already, but they went in the mail yesterday for the craft along project for this month. Okay, and that's next Thursday. Thursday, what day is that? The 30th. Okay. Hello, Lois. Nice to see you here. I know. Isn't that paper beautiful? I really love it. So, yes. If you ordered last month, you're going to get the craft along packet this week to make the project with me next Thursday. I know I normally do it on a Saturday, but this month we're going Thursday only because I had my retreat tomorrow and just so many things going on. So it ended up being during the week, and it'll be interesting to see if I have similar numbers, or, you know, if there's less people watching that day. It's like a little experiment, really. So I'm actually going to grab out of my scrap drawer here. I believe I have some Pretty Peacock paper. I'm just looking quickly to see what I can find. And here we go. Here's a piece of Pretty Peacock paper. I'm just going to cut it to size because it's going to be my card front, because this paper has Pretty Peacock in it. And if you're thinking to yourself, hang on a second, isn't Pretty Peacock a colour that retired a few years ago? Yes, it was. It was an in colour, beautiful in colour that a lot of people loved. And we know, because of this paper having Pretty Peacock in it, that it's making a return. And that was kind of one of the ways that we knew that this year there was going to be some sort of colour refresh. So, okay, let me grab these back again, because I want to grab... So this paper looks really nice with it, doesn't it? Doesn't that look lovely? But that's not the one I want to use. I want to use the paper with the seaweed, or what looks to me like seaweed. I'm just looking here for it. I will find it in just a second. I'm going through and trying to find it. There it is. That's the one. And you can see that those two look really nice together, although I'm not using both tonight. I'm just using the one, because I'm going to do... Remember we talked about doing this paper with the sea turtle? So I'm going to cut this, just deciding which half of it I want. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to cut it to 1/2 centimetre smaller. So the other sheet was 10 by 14.3. This one is going to be 9.5 by 13.8. Okay, and that's because I want that to fit inside the Pretty Peacock piece that I just cut. So this piece is going to fit inside this piece, and so it does. Okay, so I'm going to stick that straight down because I know that's what I want to do with it. And this time I'm going to... Oh, no, I'm not going to use that Tombow because that one's empty. This one is not empty. But this paper is really lovely. But this was our first clue, well, our first definite clue that we were having a colour refresh this year. Oh, Sean's... Yes, I'm sorry, Sean, because your time zone has changed, hasn't it? Ours is changing, not this weekend, next weekend, I believe. So we go back an hour as daylight saving comes to an end for this year. All right. So I have got this piece is going to end up here on this card base, just like that. And I'm going to grab a piece of basic white card. and I'm going to stamp on it, and I'm going to cut myself a sea turtle. So let's just cut this in half. This is basic white paper, not the basic white thick. If you're wondering how they're different, the basic white thick is much more sturdy for card bases, whereas the plain basic white is a little flimsy for card bases, but the basic white cardstock is the best for stamping on. It is more compressed than the other paper. So sometimes I know the question has been asked, you know, what weight is the basic white cardstock, because it feels a lot flimsier than the other cardstock colors. They are actually the same GSM, but the white is much more compressed. Now the thick is not. That's a heavier weight paper, but this white is the same GSM as the other colored cardstocks. So good to know. All right, let me bring in my turtles. So pretty. Love, love, love this. And I'm deciding, do I want little turtles or big turtles? What do you guys think? I might have a big one and a little one. So sorry, I asked you what you thought, and then I went ahead and did what I was going to do anyway. So I'm going to use my block E, because that's the right size for him. And the interesting thing is, what color should we use? Because we don't, well, I don't have Pretty Peacock anymore, because I long ago sold that thinking it was gone forever. Now we know it's coming back. What color would I go with? And we have a few choices. We can pick a contrasting color, or we could emboss it. We could do it in, say, silver embossed or something like that. But tonight I'm wanting to stay away from the embossing because I'm trying to save a little bit of time. The theme for Craft Along is window cards, Donna, this month. So we're doing window cards, and the card that we're doing live is a trifold window card. Really, really simple card. It's super, super simple, but it's really lovely. I'm hoping you're really going to like it. All right, so a couple of suggestions I have for you. What can we do in the event that we don't have Pretty Peacock in our collections? Right now, Evening Evergreen, even though it is scheduled to retire, this is a current in color. And if you stamp it, off, it takes on a color very similar to Pretty Peacock. All right, so stamp once and then stamp off, and it's similar. I'm doing this on a matte so we get a better image. When you're doing a big stamp or a more solid stamp, you want to have a matte underneath. All right, so even though it is close to evening, even though it's Evening Evergreen, it's not far off when you do it stamped off, and we do get away with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scissors, my paper snips, and I'm going to cut really roughly around the whole thing. Just makes it easier to cut by getting rid of the rest of that paper, and then we can cut it out by hand. Right, so it won't take long to do this, and I'll just talk to you. Has anyone got any questions or anything you need to ask while I'm doing this? And I'll just sort of keep one eye on the comments and the other eye. What is Jody rubbing in? Your time goes for this weekend. Your ours goes back next weekend. Not this weekend, but next. So UK is changing this weekend. The US changed a couple of weeks ago for those states that have daylight saving. Do most states have daylight saving? Who can answer my question? Like, you guys aren't asking me questions, so I'm going to ask you one. I think I heard that Arizona does not have daylight saving. Is that correct? And is there any other states that don't have it? Can someone answer that? Or am I? Here in Australia, we have all states go over on to daylight saving and come off at the same time, except for two. Western Australia does not have daylight saving, and Queensland does not have daylight saving. Two states. When the people voted about whether to have it or not in those two states, it was decided that they did not want it. So that causes all kinds of trouble. because you have some states on a certain time, and like Queensland and all the eastern states are normally all the same time zone, except when it's daylight saving, when we're all when Queensland is an hour behind. It is handy if you live near the border, because if you miss the shops, if everything, you know, the shops that close at 5 o'clock, you can zip across the border and and still beat the clock. But Western Australia is normally 2 hours behind the eastern states, and during daylight saving they are 3 hours behind. I have one lady from WA attending my virtual retreat tomorrow, and we start at 9:30. So that means she says she'll be up at 6:30. I had to apologize to her and say, I'm so sorry. But she said she'd normally be up at that time anyway. So that's nice. So there we go. Did I miss any questions? Now, what was Kerry was saying something? Oh, the nurses are watching. Hello, nurses. So I'm sorry this is taking a little bit of time. I'm sorry you're in hospital, Kerry. I hope everything's okay. All right. So we don't have the exact color, but this is going to be a close enough match. And I'm going to have my big turtle here. If I wanted to, I can have a little turtle as well, because this set has big turtles and little turtles. See that? So the big one that we're using, and the cute little guy that looks like he, you know those cute little ones, they lay the eggs, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't need any more turtles. Do you think this is enough turtles? What does Nicole say? Yeah, because 3 referendums later, the WA government finally got the message, no daylight saving. Right. I love it. Sorry, but I really, really like daylight saving. I look forward to it. But now it's at the other end, and I'm not liking because I go to an exercise class that starts at 6 a.m. and it is pitch black dark when I get there now. So I'm actually looking forward to daylight saving finishing so that I can exercise not in the dark. That'll be nice. All right, let's see. We're going to pop these on. 1 turtle, says Judy. Just the big one, says Katrina. Nurses are amazing. I agree. I've got a lot of friends who are nurses, and they really, really do an amazing job. All right, so let's pop our 1 turtle on, and I'm going to have him quite close. I want him almost over this edge, just like that. So this is going to be another simple card tonight. I'm going to pop some glue on the back. We have yet to add our sentiments, so I haven't decided what I'm going to do there, but we'll work it out as we go. All right, let's see. So this paper, even though I don't know if it's meant to be seaweed or underwater, but it kind of gives that look. And when you add a sea creature, it definitely looks like it's under the water, don't you think? I love that. All right, so what shall we do for a sentiment? You might notice that the sea turtle set does not have any sentiments. Oh, and I'm just looking. I'm thinking I might add some fishies up near the top here, even though I've already stuck this on the background. I think we can get away with adding some fishies. So let's add them. I'm going to add I've actually used up all my long thin blocks, which I would normally put this probably on block H, but because they're all in the retreat bags waiting for tomorrow, and I'm wondering whether do I go with the green again, or would I use Night of Navy, because that kind of would go with this. I'm not sure. Let's have a look and see. Because you can see the navy kind of would go. Let's have a look. I'm going to stamp this off first here. I think maybe the Night of Navy might look good. Navy, says Margaret. No green again, says Michelle. Yes, fish. Okay, well, let's just see. I'm thinking I'm going to stamp them off. So I'm going to stamp them here on the page first, and then do a lighter scattering of them kind of here. There we go. And they kind of look like they're disappearing kind of into the background by being a little lighter. That looks nice. I like that. All right. We do need a greeting of some kind, and I'm kind of deciding what that should look like. Maybe I might use the Queen Bee, because the Queen Bee's got a really cute little label in it that I really like to use. Let's see. Sorry about my squeaky chair, guys. So the Queen Bee has, in fact, I just remembered, I've already got one here. I cut out, I believe. Let me just have a quick look. And if I do have one here, Michelle, is this where you have a little drink and say, found it when I find it? When I find it. Because I'm pretty sure I saw some of these. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. Now, because this is a, see, this is the little, this is from the Queen Bee set, this little label. And I think that might look rather good. And I think for this one, I'm going to use navy again. I'm deciding what it should say. Okay, you guys can help me choose the sentiment. I'm thinking maybe something from, we've got a happy birthday here. Retirement wishes, wishing you a warm and beachy kind of day. It's not really beachy, it's more underwater, isn't it? It's always hard to know what to put on. And this one might have some sentiments that you are unique and completely amazing. That is kind of nice because it might relate to a turtle. Wishing you the very best, love you to the beach and back, but this is the wrong size tag for that. I'm thinking maybe you are unique and completely amazing. What do you think about that? What is winking? Winking is using a product called Wink of Stella. And you're thinking that has got to be the strangest name for anything you've ever heard. You are correct. This is Wink of Stella. Okay, you can see there it says Wink. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Wink of Stella. All right. And I don't know who Stella was or why she was winking, but we really, really love this product, okay, because it adds a glittery, it's kind of a glitter brush, and it adds glitter to whatever you put it over the top of. So it's, you know, you can apply the glitter, and it's really rather fun. You could apply the glitter. So I don't know if you can see it, but I can apply the glitter to the turtle, and he'll end up being a bit sparkly wherever I add it. It's hard to see it though in the light. It's subtle. It's not particularly in your face, the Wink of Stella, but it is really beautiful. Yeah, okay. All right, so people are saying that's a nice saying. Let's just find it here in the pack. You are, where is it? You are unique and completely amazing. Now, the only thing wrong with this particular saying is it can be really hard to get that straight because it's kind of an unusual shape. Can you see that? It's kind of, it's like it's slanted down. Also, happy birthday to my beautiful friend. Isn't that a nice, I love that happy birthday. I think that's lovely. If you're going to make a card for somebody, and that one's a little bit too big, I think that wouldn't fit on. It just fits. Just. Happy birthday to my beautiful friend, or you are unique and completely amazing. Those two. You can see? Oh, good. I'm glad. You guys, I love all the conversations, the side conversations that you guys are having while I'm creating. Do the dots. Make them bubbles. Yeah, the bubbles that are in the Sea Turtle set, these ones, I love these. These are so nice. But I'm not adding to them to this card, but they look really, really nice. I'm tempted to use the happy birthday to my beautiful friend because it fits better on the tag. So even though it only just fits, it does fit better. So let me grab my block here, and I'm going to go with my Knight of Navy. My husband's just been out and he's just come back again. All right, let's get this done. All right, here we go. I need to get over it, so you'll have to excuse me getting my eye straight. Here we go. Happy birthday to my beautiful friend. I think that's nice. And the navy seems to go really nicely with this. I wouldn't want to go black. It would be too stark, but the navy's nice. So one behind here, one behind here. We could add ribbon if we wanted to, but I'm saying no to ribbon tonight. I think I must be having an anti-ribbon night. So I'm not sure what that's all about. And I'm going to go with these lovely iridescent rhinestones again because I love them. Also, the iridescent pearls would be nice. Let's add one of these here and one of these up here. Do you think we need anything else, or do you think we're done? I think we're done. I think that works. Oh, the ocean front and turtles would be nice. It's a great idea, Nicole. You might have just inspired me to make a different card. I love getting inspired. I don't care who inspires me. I just love getting inspired. And you can see these are also, that's where that label came from. These are from the apple harvest dies, which are in our clearance rack. Last time I looked, for only $24.60. So if you like the apple harvest stuff, you want to grab that while it's still there, because I don't imagine it's going to be there all that long. Okay, so I think we've come up with two cards. I do want to show you something else, okay, at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to finish it up here, but if you are actually really interested in sticking around and seeing some more crafting tonight, at 9 o'clock I've got a video going live. It won't be me live. It'll be a replay where I make this card. Okay, so I'm part of a video hop group that does they do a different theme, and this month's theme is paper flowers. So I made this little card with the queen bee dice. So the flowers and the leaves are from the queen bee dice, and so is the tag. That's the same tag as this one. But that video is going up at 9 o'clock. So you'll be able to come back on here to the YouTube channel and actually watch that video. So I won't be live, but it's part of a video hop, and there's a whole group of us that have contributed different ideas with paper flowers this month. So if you really like that, you might enjoy watching and seeing what all the other girls have done. So there's Karen Hadler. Who else is in the group? Jackie Williams. I'm trying to think. Jay Soriano. I'm not sure who else is in there, but it's a really great group of people. There's some really talented demonstrators in the group. Oh, I'm glad you like that, Karen. Nice to see you. See you tomorrow. Looking forward to, so for those of you who are watching, who are in the team, I hope some of you are coming to the team retreat tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. I hope that you'll enjoy it. We have got a couple of really special things happening tomorrow, which will be very exciting. And I'm looking forward to seeing you then. And for the rest of you who aren't part of that, I hope to see you all back here maybe on Sunday night. So I'm just looking for the other card that I just made, literally. The purple card. What did I just do with it? Oh, my goodness. Oh, well, you'll see it in the thumbnail. Oh, I found it. Found it. There we go. They're the two cards for tonight. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed those, guys. I'll be back on Sunday night. And for the team members, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Bye.